White House producer Pat Ward, by the way, is telling us that the White House is closely monitoring the situation, and we'd refer to any questions to the FBI and law enforcement for the time being. So that is just in from our White House producer, Pat Ward. Joining us now on the phone is Danny Colson. He's a former FBI Deputy Assistant Director and Hostage Rescue Team Commander. Danny, you've done this, I don't know, countless times. Would it be possible that negotiators at this point would put this hostage taker's, the suspect's children or sister on the phone with him?
Not at this point. No, absolutely not. I get that question often. You know what triggered this kid, this man. You don't know what made him mad. You know, maybe even a member of his family may have set him off. You don't know that. So you want to avoid that. You want to keep this whole situation fairly vanilla and let him kind of take control and go where it wants to go, and let him vent. The fact that he didn't want to hurt anybody, the fact that he's talking about his family, and I talked about it earlier today, that's really good. But this is a very complex operation. They mentioned the SWAT team being there. They're there for a couple of reasons: to rescue if necessary, and to keep people out. In situations like that, it's not unusual for somebody who thinks he has the answer to try to get inside the complex and make the thing, go really badly. So it's an inside-outside deal. The SWAT team is there, and they will keep people out, keep him from coming out, and hopefully, at the same time, allowing people that are somewhere in adjacent rooms or parts of the building to leave, to get out. So it's like a triage, actually. You want to try to start getting as many people out of there as you can without triggering some kind of response on his part. So it's fairly complicated, it's fairly delicate, but this is what they do for a living. And we have to say prayers that they're successful, and it sounds like it's going the right direction, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully, for sure. And we hope for the most peaceful outcome. It's coming up in almost 4 hours that this has been going on. So at this time in negotiations, what do you think's happening? Does it change?
Okay, time. No, ma'am. Time is what you want. When these things go down, adrenaline is very high. And when adrenaline is high, rational thought is low. And as he wears himself out because of this emotional outrage, which is happening in his body right now, he's becoming more and more fatigued. And options start to approach him that basically say, I'm really tired. I'd like to move on and get out of here. I know this sounds kind of sophomoric, it's sort of basic, but that's the way they work. You start off with high emotion, and this ranting and raving and behavior actually wears him out, and his adrenaline starts to subside. Fatigue sets in, and that's a really good thing. That gives me more hope.
Brian Yin has reported that this man is believed to have said that he believes he's going to die. What does that mean to you as a former FBI Deputy Associate Director and commander of a negotiation team?
Well, you convince him he's not. There are other options for him. That's exactly what they're doing right now. You're not going to die today. What are you talking about? And sometimes they'll actually joke with him, or they will cajole him. You're not going to die. You got family waiting for you. Why do you want to die today? And that's the tack they take. It's really interesting what works. Well, we did one many years ago when I was a commander, and a guy took a 747 and he wanted $10 million at an airplane to someplace, and we finally negotiated him out for a package of cigarettes. And I know that sounds kind of like I'm joking about it. I'm not. You just don't know what's going to work. And if he's a smoker and needs a cigarette, they don't use that. If he's getting tired and wants to sit down, give him a chair. And these guys know this. All the things I'm telling you are in their repertoire, and they know it probably better than me.
Well, your experience for sure, and they are as well. And you mentioned how while they're talking to this guy, they're trying to also, whoever of the people inside the synagogue there, we don't know how many people are in there, but whoever is not in the suspect's immediate control, if you will, they're trying to clear the rest of the building. They're also clearing the area as well, and telling people to stay away from the area. Why are they doing that?
They don't want interference. They don't want people, like I said earlier, the purpose of a perimeter is keep people in, but also keep people out from going in. So that's really important. They don't want somebody coming up there and with a sign or something or some loudspeaker or something that sets this guy off, because this is pretty delicate right now. And I know this community, this law enforcement community. I commanded a division here for a number of years, and they're very good at what they do. They take themselves seriously. They take their job very seriously, and they train all the time. So it may not go as you and I are praying, but the chances are we got a good chance for it to go the way we're praying.
Danny, before I let you go for now, I want to ask you, listen, we know that, as you told me earlier, that it's possible that the hostage taker, that he's listening, possibly. Mm-hmm. Who also might be listening is his family. What do you say to them? I'd imagine, I guess, I mean, everybody has a cell phone. I'm not sure if they're texting with this gentleman or not. What do you say to his family that might be watching and listening to us?
Well, I think what they need to know is that it's important to get his life. The motto of the hostage rescue team is to save lives, salvare vidas. And that means that we value the life of the hostages and we value the life of the hostage taker. All life has value. God made all of us. And if they're working right now as much to save him as they are the hostages. And they have to understand that. He has to understand that. Also, this is not the end of the line for him. This is not the last day. He can say his piece, and then he can go home. Not home. He's going to go someplace. But he doesn't have to die today. There's other time to think about this, and today is not that day.
Former FBI Deputy Assistant Director and experienced hostage negotiator Danny Colson, thank you so much for joining us, and stand by for us. I'm sure we'll come back to you again at some point in this hour.